He said, Mama, I'm coming home. But my baby didn't make it back home to me. If it was an accidental death, why are you not releasing the autopsy? Why are you not releasing the body cam of what happened that night?
And as they got close to the river under the Walnut Street Bridge, they heard a splash in the water.
Tristan didn't swing him, and he didn't like water.
I crossed the Cahaba River bridge several times a day, going across that bridge, driving real slow, looking off in the water. I need answers. I want to know what happened to my son. That's all I'm asking.
Tristan Sheppard, a 27-year-old from Centreville, Alabama, lost his life on April 6, 2024 under mysterious circumstances. His story is one of heartbreak, unanswered questions, and a family's relentless quest for the truth. Tristan's parents, Ann and Terry Sheppard, remember him as a beloved son. But in the early hours of April 6, 2024, their worst nightmare began with a knock on the door. It was police officers delivering news no parent should ever hear. Their son was gone. The chain of events that led to Tristan Sheppard's passing began on April 5, 2024. Usually when I cover stories on my channel, I treat information released from authorities as official. In this case, however, I find myself at this time questioning their actions thus far. I encourage you to watch this video until the end and be sure to subscribe so you never miss an upload. Please join me in bringing awareness to this case by sharing this video and leaving a comment below. Around 8:30 p.m. on April 5, 2024, Centreville police said they received a call about an intoxicated man going from house to house knocking on doors in the Mill Street area. Responding officers said they spotted a man with a vodka bottle in the street who immediately fled as the police car approached, disappearing into the dark neighborhood. Over the next few hours, officers continued to patrol the area. Near midnight, a patrol unit again saw what appeared to be the same individual near the intersection of Mill and Maple Streets. Authorities claimed that once more, the man ran, but this time heading in the direction of the Cahaba River. Additional law enforcement from neighboring Brent and Bibb County Sheriff's Office joined in the search, converging around the river bridge in hopes of locating the fleeing man. Shortly after midnight, they claimed to have spotted an individual in the river underneath the bridge, clinging to a bridge support. Police say the person was struggling in the cold, dark water. According to authorities, as officers scrambled down a steep embankment to attempt a rescue, they saw the individual slip away and go under the surface. A local dive team was summoned and began searching the river. Eventually, divers recovered the body of a black adult male in about 10 feet of water. They said resuscitation was attempted on the riverbank, and the victim, later confirmed to be Tristan Sheppard, was rushed to Bibb Medical Center. Tragically, he was pronounced gone at 1:22 a.m. on April 6, 2024. Around 3 a.m., police officers arrived at the family's home to notify them of the tragedy. The crushing news left Tristan's parents in shock and grief. They had spoken to him not long before. Now he was gone forever. As dawn broke that day, no concrete answers were provided to the family about how this tragedy had occurred.
He said, Mama, I'm coming home. But my baby didn't make it back home to me. He came back home to me another way. You know, I don't wish this pain on nobody. They have to go through with it. My son meant everything to me. He was my third child.
Around 3 in the morning, my wife wakes me up telling me somebody's knocking at the back door. I gets up, I come to the back door. It's about 5 or 6 police officers at the back door. I let them come in. The one officer tells me that this is one of the hardest things I hate to do, is tell a parent that his child's not coming home. And I asked him which one, and he told me Tristan.
That same day, the city of Centreville told us police were investigating a drowning. A man, believed to be intoxicated, ran from officers and somehow ended up in the Cahaba River. They weren't sure if he jumped or fell. A dive team later recovered his body.
They didn't say he had done anything wrong. It's just that they said they got a call. He was knocking on somebody's door.
Officials initially withheld Tristan's identity from the public at the family's request. His body was taken into custody of the Bibb County coroner and then transported to the Alabama State Medical Examiner's office for a full autopsy. For Tristan's loved ones, however, the nightmare was only beginning. They would soon be confronted not only with loss, but with confusion and troubling questions about the circumstances of his passing. From the outset, authorities' account of what happened to Tristan raised more questions than it answered. Their official narrative held that officers never actually made physical contact with Tristan before he was found in the river.
It was possibly a intoxicated black male on Mill Street, walking around with a bottle of alcohol in his hand, knocking on the doors.
Police lost him but found him again about 3 hours later.
They spotted the suspect that fit the description. They tried to make contact with him again, and the subject took off running behind a house towards the Cahaba River. He went around behind the house, and the guys went to him, and as they got close to the river under the Walnut Street Bridge, they heard a splash in the water.
A splash in about 10 feet of water near the first pylon, 20 to 30 feet off the bank, according to the chief.
And then he went under.
The dive team was called and recovered the man about 20 minutes later. Medical personnel on the scene performed CPR and got a faint pulse, but the man died.
Made the announcement at 1:22 that morning that the subject was deceased.
The chief says the investigation now centers on why the man fled.
That is stuff that we're still under investigation on.
Meantime, the chief says he watched the body cameras from the police officers and says there is no doubt his team followed protocol and did exactly what they were trained to do.
By March 2025, nearly a year later, the county coroner formally classified Tristan's passing as an accidental drowning. Another red flag was Tristan's well-known aversion to water.
He began to tell me that they was talking with him and he takes off to running and he jumps off in the river.
Tristan's father questions the story.
Tristan didn't swing him and he didn't like water.
According to the family, officials did not allow them to view or identify him immediately, citing the ongoing investigation and the need to complete the state autopsy. These disturbing observations planted the seeds of doubt. Had something else happened during that police encounter by the river? The official narrative offered no explanation for the apparent trauma to Tristan's body, leaving his loved ones with uneasy questions about what truly occurred that night.
The Sheppards say at the hospital, no body. At the funeral home, still nothing. They say it took 4 days before they were allowed to see their son.
All them bruises and all of that all over his body and all over his face, it's not gonna come from just jumping in no water.
In the weeks and months following Tristan's passing, his family grew increasingly frustrated by the lack of transparency from authorities. They filed request after request for basic records, the police incident records, body-worn camera footage from that night, dashboard camera videos, and even Tristan's personal belongings, but received nothing. Over a dozen requests denied.
We requested a copy of the official police report, body-worn camera footage, any 911 call recordings or dispatch logs related to the incident, any internal reports, and reports in the investigation of Tristan Sheppard's death. The city attorney denied our request, citing law enforcement investigative reports and related investigative material are not public records under Alabama law. Also noting it remains confidential even after the case is closed. In a written response saying, quote, The city of Centreville regards the materials that she requested as related to a criminal investigation.
As the official silence persisted, community members and family supporters began to voice alarming allegations that starkly contradicted the authorities' story. In the absence of official transparency, these unverified accounts gained traction on social media and within the Centreville community. Tristan's family has turned to higher authorities for help. They petitioned Alabama Governor Cahaba, as well as local mayors, the state attorney general, and legislators, calling for a full independent investigation into Tristan's suspicious passing. According to the petition, witnesses have claimed that Tristan was actually caught by police, beaten, and even handcuffed on the night of April 5th, and that discharge sounds were heard near the river. If true, these claims would directly conflict with Chief Smith's statements that officers had no physical contact with Tristan before he went into the water. The petition and family advocates suggest that what happened to him may have well been a modern-day lynching. Nearly 1,000 supporters have signed on, joining the Sheppards in demanding transparency, accountability, and honest answers from officials. Specifically, they urge the release of all the aforementioned evidence and a review of the officers' conduct. These measures, the family believes, are the only way to either prove that Tristan's passing was a tragic accident or to expose any wrongdoing that might have occurred.
I crossed the Cahaba River bridge several times a day, going across that bridge, driving real slow, looking off in the water. I need answers. I want to know what happened to my son. That's all I'm asking. I just want to know. And our whole family want to know what happened to him. If it was an accidental death, why you not releasing the autopsy? Why you not releasing the body cam of what happened that night if you don't have anything to hide?
If someone is responsible, they want justice. If no one is, they want proof.
If they done nothing wrong, nothing, everything happened the way they said it happened, they officer did nothing wrong, then why? Why is it so hard? You can't just say, well, it was an accident, here the camera go, we're gonna play it back. This is actually what happened. Why you can't do that? That's all we're asking. Which they won't do that.
As of this video, the Centreville police have not publicly addressed the specific allegations of abducting or discharge wounds. The family believes that multiple agencies could be involved in a coordinated effort to obscure the truth. This is considering the fact that officers from Centreville PD, Brent PD, the Bibb County Sheriff's Office, and even Alabama State Troopers were on the scene or involved in the aftermath. More than 1 year later, Tristan's passing remains an unresolved and painful mystery. Local law enforcement announced their investigation was complete, however, no one was charged. At the time, the Bibb County District Attorney stated that he intended to present the case to a grand jury, presumably to determine if any criminal wrongdoing occurred in Tristan's passing. Yet, as of the posting of this video over 15 months after the incident, that grand jury presentation still has not happened. According to Tristan's family, just before the 1 year anniversary of his passing, they learned the district attorney was investigating an officer and preparing for a grand jury. However, if true, authorities remain tight-lipped. Officially, Tristan's case remains closed as an accident. Personally, I feel as though this case definitely deserves far more attention than it has received. Please share this video and join me in bringing awareness. May the family and friends of Tristan Sheppard find solace in the happy memories, and may his soul rest in perpetual peace. Thank you.